Hello and welcome to another episode of Busy on Break. We are going fully commando and unscripted right now. So, how's everybody doing today?
Fantastic. How are you,
Good,
Joe?
good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Obviously, I'm wearing some Birds gear. The Eagles won.
Hey, you just
Let's freaking go.
Fuck
go.
yeah. And I think the Cowboys they won, unfortunately.
Bro, Cowboys suck this year. No,
The Giants lost. They fucking
Giants
suck.
lost.
yeah, well, Giants, New York, dude. Apparently, the New York Jets haven't made the playoffs in like 14 years.
I'm not surprised by that. They're New Yorkers. Fuck them.
For sure. All right. Well, like I said, we're going to be going. We're doing another episode of Busy on Break. Let's get to the conversation, whatever the hell that may be.
Yeah.
Slow down. Dude, imagine if that thing opened up and you just squirted everywhere.
I'm waiting for that.
That would be very awkward, Shane.
That's poop. Come down the pipe.
So just so you know, there is a washing machine that's about to sing you the song of its people in about 20 minutes. So I don't know. You're going to hear a little jingle. I hope we don't get copyright struck for that. That would absolutely suck.
So, dude, it's so easy to get a copyright
I
strike
feel like
now.
that won't happen, but
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
I
you're
mean,
probably right.
I don't even think YouTube's paying attention to anything we're saying.
No.
They don't care about
No,
us.
YouTube doesn't pay attention to you for
We're
a
not
while.
we're not that popular.
Thank
We're
you.
not that popular. No.
Thank you, Samsung, for an absolute dope ass performance every single time it's done cleaning your clothes. Dude, no, there's this one video. I think it was on Instagram. I've been doing a lot of death scrolling as of lately. Somebody made an entire guitar riff for the ending melody for these Samsung washers, and it's actually really catchy. If I get a chance, I'll send it to you guys. It's
Please
really
send
cool.
it over. I'd love to.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear it.
So, anyways, Rylan, how is it going with you, my dude?
It's good. Just got back from watching the game at my parents', and I had
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go
But I
Birds.
had a very, let's say, energetic discussion with my brother about various topics that had nothing to do with football. But that's what happens when you come over to my parents. You go there to watch football. You end up arguing about stuff you never thought you'd be arguing about.
You guys need to meet his brother. His brother is a fascinating guy.
Very fascinating man.
Person.
But yeah, so we got into a very, let's say, philosophical discussion about current events. I don't know if we want to get into the current
Jewish
events,
women and Italian women.
something like that.
Is that what he brought up?
But yeah, so yeah, I just got back from my parents. How about? I mean, we're at your parents. So how are your parents doing?
Parents are doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I've pretty much been living life at least over the past couple of weeks. I got accepted into university, so I'm super pumped about that. I'm going back to school, and we'll see what happens. I mean, they have a bit of an accelerated program that's going to be going on there, so hopefully I have something within the next 2 years because it's something I'm very passionate about.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
man. We're
congrats
both
on
very,
getting-
very happy for you. I think you're going to go in there and you're going to kill it.
Thank you, sir.
Speaking of parents, my dad's dead.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry.
But, I have a great relationship with my mom, and we're going to get dinner this week. We're going to go to Longhorn Steakhouse.
Okay.
Oh, I love that
Love
place.
Longhorn.
Their wings are fantastic.
Dude, I've actually never had their wings, but now that you say that, I might try them. But I really like the loaded baked potatoes.
Oh, yeah,
those
they're
things are fucking phenomenal.
I love Texas Roadhouse, but I think the loaded baked potatoes at Longhorn are somehow better. I don't. Maybe it's just me, but
I actually agree. Longhorn's better. Texas Roadhouse is just a better environment. Like with like come out and they'll sing happy birthday to you, and the fucking cinnamon bread.
yes, that's
Oh,
so good.
my God,
let's freaking go.
Yeah.
Orgasm in your mouth right there.
I think overall I prefer Texas Roadhouse, but the loaded baked potato at Longhorn's just better. I don't know why.
Dude, 100%. Especially if you get you ask for the extra butter,
Oh,
the
yeah.
sour cream, the bacon. They load that shit on there. It's fucking golden.
Do you know one time I was at Texas Roadhouse and I'm putting in my order and I was like, yeah, I'll take a loaded baked potato. They're like, we ran out of potatoes. I was like, what the fuck?
Fucking disgrace.
Are you
man.
kidding me
That's
right
a
now?
fucking disgrace. That chef should be fired.
She's like, I'm so sorry. No, I'm just kidding. She was like that. But
It's like, Fuck off.
She's like, you can have loaded mashed potatoes. Not the same. It's really not. I'm sorry.
Definitely not the same.
Yeah.
Definitely not the same.
Okay, what do you guys have? You guys had the ribs from both Texas Roadhouse and Longhorn?
I've
Steakhouse?
wanted to try the ribs. How are the ribs?
They are absolutely fantastic. Now, the Texas Roadhouse ribs, they appear to kind of like melt in your mouth. And they are so good. They slap that lovely barbecue sauce on
All
it.
over your mouth. Oh, man.
This is
Do you know what has good ribs, actually?
All over that mouth.
All over that mouth.
Just lather it on. No.
Lather it up.
yeah, you slap my meat with that barbecue sauce.
You know who has really good ribs, actually? TGI Fridays.
Oh, I can see
Really?
that.
Their ribs, I haven't had them in probably 5 years, but I remember like, yeah, it was a while ago, went and got ribs there. And surprisingly, they were really fucking good. They were really good.
Do they still have those? Because I haven't seen one.
Dude, I think TGI Fridays actually went bankrupt.
Yeah, I haven't seen
I actually
one.
think I was reading, I think they actually went bankrupt like
That makes
a year
sense.
ago.
Okay, because I haven't seen one since like, I don't know, like 2018 or
I
something.
guess the ribs weren't that good then.
yeah. I mean, honestly, I feel like another really good food out there. Like, if you guys have ever been to a Chili's before, their Texas cheese fries are absolutely to die for. And they don't use, I'm sorry, I have a personal vendetta against cheese sauce because I don't, it doesn't look or feel like food to me.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. In my opinion, I feel like it's manufactured from plastic.
I see what you're saying, like the Cheese Whiz.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cheese whiz is disgusting.
It just almost feels poisonous. I mean, obviously, I don't have any evidence to substantiate that, but
Yeah.
cheese shouldn't be able to come out of a can,
I see what you're saying.
I
an
agree with you,
aerosol
man.
can.
I agree with you, but there is a place called Tony G's. Rylan's been there. We've had some interesting experiences there. Oh,
Yeah.
hello there. How you doing? This fucking guy. There's
This
this
my
guy.
boy Yoshi like
Yo,
that.
this guy.
Yoshi man.
Yo, Yoshi.
There's these smothered bacon fries, and it's like bacon and like the cheese. It's not Cheese Whiz. It's like another form of cheese out there, and it's fucking scrumptious. But the Cheese Whiz just ruins every.
That restaurant you mentioned though is ratchet because we were there that one time. This one time we're there and we're eating our French fries, eating chicken wings, and some lady that was she was on besides alcohol. She
Molly, every drug
whatever
living
she was
man.
on, it wasn't just alcohol. She's like the whole time belligerent, and like I guess they're just okay with this kind of like customer. But at the end, I hear her mention like, and that ginger in the corner, and I'm like,
We were in
I'm
the
like the
corner.
only ginger in the corner. So
It was me and Rylan.
yeah.
And I think that was like our cue to be like, all right, let's get the check and get the fuck out.
yeah, we're like it's time to leave. I've had some weird experiences with women like before I dated my wife now, but I was currently dating Rebecca when this happened. And I was like, Shane, it's our time to go. Like, when someone's calling me out by like my characteristics, I know it's not gonna end well for me if I stay around. So
just like an Old City,
yeah,
like
the one in
someone
Old City. Oh my god.
Someone was chasing you around
Yeah.
the room upstairs.
Yeah.
You have a way with women, man, I'll tell you.
So yeah, it's a blessing or a curse when you can make a woman crazy about you, like literally
Within 5
crazy
seconds.
about you, like institutionally crazy about you. Like if you can
That's
do
something else, man.
if you can do that, you'll know what I'm talking about. But
I remember it was me and you. We were sitting at a bar downstairs, and there was this this woman that was sitting to the left of you, and she had asked you. She's like, "Hey, do you know if they're making pizza tonight?" And
Yeah.
you being a nice gentleman, you're like, yeah, I don't know, they might be." And then she asked you another question. You were just being nice, and we were watching the basketball game. I wasn't really paying attention too much, and then you kind of just stopped talking to her, and we were both watching the TV, and she was staring right over at you, and I was like, okay, something's going on.
Well,
Something fucking
so
weird.
we were watching playoff NBA basketball, and she was staring right into my eyes, like, Joe, pretend you're a TV. I'm staring at the TV while she's staring at my eyes, and I can see her staring at me while I'm trying to watch the game. It was so
I saw this too.
uncomfortable.
I was
That's
witnessing
so
this.
weird.
And I was like, I had to take a massive piss. So I'm like, I'm going downstairs. I'll be right back. And I get back up, and you're like, let's go upstairs. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, cool. Like, I didn't really put two and two
Let's just
together.
go upstairs,
go
she'll
upstairs.
F off. Yeah.
So we sit at a table, and you go to the bathroom that's upstairs. And then I look over about a minute later, and this like the crazy lady was outside of the door, and she was probably like she was small though. She was probably 4'10", you know.
Those are the ones you have to watch out for.
Just because she's
70
4'10" doesn't mean she's like innocent in all this. Like, so I saw her coming up the stairs, and I ran into the bathroom, locked it. She was trying to get into the bathroom.
She
dude.
was. She was knocking on the door. She tried to pull on it, and I looked over. I'm like, holy shit, that's the lady from downstairs. I'm like, she wants to fuck Rylan.
Yeah, she was. I was convinced that night, and this is like, let me just repeat myself. Before I was dating Rebecca, I was convinced this woman was either trying to fuck me, kill me, or both in that bathroom.
I think it was both.
It might have been both.
Like, you stepped out of the door, and she immediately went for your
Goes
wrist,
right for the wrist.
and you deflected it.
I was
You're
like, get the hell off of me, bitch.
And
Like,
then you walked around, and I'm like right here. I'm standing up, and then you're walking this way, and then she just starts chasing after you.
yeah, she.
There's like a table.
So at this point, the whole bar is aware that this lady's
They're all
chasing
laughing.
me, and they think we're playing like this big game of tag or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Like she's just trying to like I'm it or something. And no, I was literally scared for my life. And everyone's just laughing, and she gets so fed up with me. You remember that?
Yeah.
She's just like, all right, you know what? I can't catch this guy. Run away, little man. And
Yep.
just like throws up her hand in there. Like Rumpelstiltskin just like disappears into the night.
And this is the funniest thing because once she went down the stairs, there was a girl and a guy, like two guys and a girl. And the girl said to you, like, "What did you do to her?" And
Yeah.
you're like, "I didn't do anything."
What did you know, because she's 4'10", they're like, what did you do? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I did literally nothing.
I was like, "He didn't do anything." She
Yeah.
was chasing him, and she's like, "Oh my god, that's so funny."
My
I'm like,
crime was
"Oh."
I was too nice. Sometimes being too nice in this world can lead you into some weird positions.
It does,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
It gets you into some weird, crazy situations.
Because, like, you know, I could have been a dick and be like, when she first talked to me, I can be like, fuck off, or, you know,
Yeah.
more or less say it that way.
But then it's kind of like dickish. You're like,
Yeah.
you're like a complete dick to this like nice older lady.
Yeah, I mean, she was in her maybe
40s,
like
mid
early
40s,
40s.
early mid 40s.
But we're
yeah.
all convinced that she had just gotten released from prison or an
mental
institution.
institution.
Like, there's no way that she is walking the streets a free person. Like, she's
No.
probably back in jail or wherever.
She's probably in
ended
the
up.
loony bin right now.
Yeah.
Definitely
Insane asylum.
institutionalized for sure. Do
Yeah.
you guys have any like interesting bar stories? I mean, I know that you guys have had experience
yeah.
going to.
Well, that was
you know,
one of them.
Well,
That was one of them.
for sure. Well, the thing is, I know you guys are very well-traveled individuals. I mean, obviously, you've been to the Vegas Strip. You've been to. Why am I blanking on the Tennessee town?
Nashville.
Nashville. Oh my
Nashville.
gosh. I know that the chat is absolutely going to roast me for that one, so I do apologize. I'm a musician. I got Nashville wrong. But yeah, do you guys have any? And also New Orleans. Like, you guys have been to
New Orleans
as
yeah,
well.
Yeah.
Been to New York.
New York.
Those are like some
been
of
to
the
like Miami together
DC.
once. DC. We've kind of been all over together. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy bar stories from back in the day, Westchester and everything.
I'm trying to think of like a funny one. I mean, that one to me is the funniest one about me.
100%.
For Shane, I'm trying to. He usually just ends up with Shane like going home with some chick.
Hey, I'll drink to that.
I don't know, but like
You
Shane,
stud muffin.
I guess where I don't know is like what happens after that, because I feel like after you take the girl home or you go home with her, have you ever had like a situation after the bar where you're like, holy you know, like this was a pretty bad mistake. Like I should not have gone home with this person.
I've definitely gone. I mean, back when I was single, I have a girlfriend now. But I definitely like, especially in college and like those after college years. Like, I went home with some really crazy women.
Yeah.
They're just like very psychotic, very like,
Ratchet.
like yeah, somewhat. I've gone back with some ratchet chicks.
Yeah, I
for
believe it.
sure. Yeah, there's definitely a lot that I would be like, yeah, she should definitely be in a mental institution for sure. I used to track the crazies like back in the day. They used to really somehow find their way over to me. I don't know if maybe I gave off that energy back then. I don't know, but
Yeah. Did you ever have like a chick that was like trying to convince you that she was like an animal or like or it was like something weird, like she's like referred to me in the third person or something?
dude,
like,
I remember this one time. It actually wasn't from a bar, but I met up with this girl from Tinder. And I remember I went over. We were hanging out at her like in her apartment, and she was like, "Do you have a condom?" And I was like, "No, I don't." She's like, "You don't
Man,
have
way
a
to be
fucking condom?"
straightforward.
Like, what do you mean?
Jeez.
You didn't bring over a condom? And I was just like, I was like, nah, I forgot. And she's just like, hold on. And we like go up the stairs. She's like, like pulling open her drawers, like fast and like she's like trying to root through her drawers. You throwing clothes out. She finally finds the condom. She's like, I got one for you. I'm like, okay, sounds good. All right, let's do it. Let's go.
The condom doesn't work. The condom like pops.
And I didn't trust it too. I was having some anxiety. I was like, is she like, this girl seems really crazy. She might have poked some holes in this condom. So I kind of like just put it on and hope for the best. And luckily I didn't have a kid with her.
Yeah, you haven't had to call that late text or whatever.
Yeah, luckily, yeah. So luckily it didn't break. It was I couldn't see any holes. I didn't really I should have inspected a little bit more, but yeah, it worked out. But yeah, she was rooting through her drawer really fast. Like, you don't have a condom? What the fuck?
Yeah, this really took a turn because we went from talking about like ribs to like just
Not
like
having condoms.
crazy women that we've met at the bars.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some other crazy situations. It's hard because you don't want to like incriminate yourself.
Yeah,
a little bit.
100%. You see, the thing is, I personally have something that I can say that deals with an airplane, and I really don't think it's a good idea to say anything about it.
Yeah.
I think you guys know what I'm talking about.
Are you part of the Mile High Club?
Yes, Shane, absolutely.
I figured so. I figured.
Bar. Shoot. I mean, I did talk about it recently when we went to Aruba for our honeymoon, and we were at like various bars, but like a lot of old people were getting like smashed in Aruba. That was like, it wasn't like bad for me, but it was just funny to observe like someone's grandpa just like smashed.
Was it like grandpa's like dancing on the dance floor and like falling over? And
Dude,
shit?
these old people were like unleashed in Aruba. They did not give a shit. One guy had like a super soaker. He was like spraying people. Like these old people were menaces in Aruba. Like, I'm telling you.
I was gonna say they probably haven't partied in like 20 years. They're like, I'm in Aruba. I'm gonna go fucking ham.
They're like the grandkids are at home.
Pop this Viagra and I'm good to go.
Pop like 3. Yeah.
I'm like 300 milligram ones, and I'm gonna be rock hard for this party tonight.
Anytime we went to the bars with our buddy Matt, that
Oh yes, dude, that was a menace.
Oh, I want to hear
that
about
was a
this.
we
menace.
can definitely talk some Matt stories.
Let's,
Dude, he was a
freaking
fucking
go.
menace, dude.
Absolutely.
So there was this one dude. I mean, Matt would say the most crazy shit to women, guys. Didn't matter. Remember this one time he walks up to this like I think I was talking to a girl and Matt was talking to a girl and maybe Derek was talking to someone as well. And this girl was like talking about her job and Matt was like, "Don't worry, your job's not that important."
Savage,
And she
man.
got fucking super pissed. And she's like, "Who the fuck are you? Who do you think you are?" And he's like, I'm that. I'm the dog." and you know, like me and Derek, we're both like pretty like, you know, like chill, laid back. We're just like, oh shit, like we don't say that shit, but we're just like, oh no, like he's good. And he just keeps saying shit. He's like, your job's not that important.
I remember one time I went out with Matt at this town we used to go to for drinking, and we go to the back of this bar, and there's a dartboard there.
Pictures.
I think it was, yeah.
Oh no.
Oh,
And
fuck.
then and Matt goes to the dartboard, and this girl's like, we're playing. And Matt was just so like pissed with her, but like he's like, all right, whatever. And he's waiting there, and then her friend is sitting there, and Matt's just pissing off her friend, and I don't know what was being said to one another. But then Matt has this like closing line with like, well, next time put on a little bit more makeup. And she goes ballistic. She's like,
no.
what did you say? And goes to the bouncer. I don't know what she says to the bouncer. The bouncer's like,
She probably knew the bouncer.
yeah, she might have known
she
the
probably knew the
bouncer. She
bouncer.
might have been like, regular there. Bouncer comes up to, he's like, you guys gotta get the hell out of here. Like immediately kicked. Doesn't even ask for our opinion or like what happened. He's like, you gotta get the hell out of here. Like,
Dude, oh my god. I just remember like Matt's stories. He had a way of just pissing people off, pissing women off, getting under people's skin. He was fucking hilarious. And then I guess maybe we won't tell him the incriminating story.
I think the guy just wanted to watch the world burn.
He really wanted to. He wanted to create.
you know what it was? It was because I've known him. He got to a certain level of drunk where he's just like, you know what? I want some entertainment tonight, and if it's not happening, I'm gonna create the chaos and the drama. And like there was another time we were in another town that we would go to a lot for drinking, and there was this pizza place on the corner, and there was this like security guard that worked at the pizza place.
I was there that night. Yeah.
And I don't know what it was with the security guard, but he was like really triggered. And Matt would tap on the window, and this guy would go crazy. He'd be like,
Y'all a bunch of women. There's all these women out here. Y'all a bunch of. He says, like, y'all a bunch of.
yeah, like I didn't think a security guard could say like, you know, or like he could call you a woman, but like, and this was like 2018 where like this stuff was already not allowed to be said.
He's like, y'all a bunch of women.
He's like, you guys got all these ladies out here, and you just tapping on the window like a bunch of.
He's like, yeah.
And Matt's just like, bring it on.
No, Matt would walk across the street and then let the security guard calm down. He'd come back and the security guard would come out again. You guys again.
Yeah, he just he had a way when he was drunk. He's like, I'm just gonna piss people off. Like that was his goal for the night. Like, yeah,
Dude, it's like any of us could have tried to do what he did, and we would be either knocked out or like it just wouldn't work. But Matt knew exactly the trigger point with people, and he would just go right in and just fuck them right in there.
Yeah, specifically with that one finger motion. Wonderful. Thank you for that.
And then he would like flip off cars too. There'd be trucks, and he'd be like, "Fuck you!" He'd get in the middle of the road, and be like, "Fuck you!" And like, oh my god,
no,
he was
dude,
a fucking menace.
do you remember like driving around that town? So I think we were in my older car at the time, and we had some of the windows down. He was just yelling things out, and he ended up yelling something out at this one older guy. He looked over at us. He's like, he wanted to freaking kill us.
Yeah, I remember what he said. I'm not going to repeat what Matt said, but I remember what Matt said.
KJ.
And the guy looked over at Matt with like just like pure like hatred in his eyes towards Matt.
Yep.
And we got so lucky because Matt said this at a red light, which you should never do.
Oh, gosh.
And it just turned green when he turned around. We got out of there. I was like, thank God.
Matt always tried to up the ante, man.
Yeah,
And
always.
He really always tried to up the ante until the one night it got back to him.
Yeah, he did. He
back
got
to
knocked
him.
out one time.
We saw it. We tried to.
Yeah, we try to help him, but you know what? In the grand scheme of like all the trolling he did, he even admitted he's like, I was bound to get knocked out at least once. So
Yeah.
he knew like karma was gonna happen.
Could have been honestly, it could have been worse if we weren't there.
Yeah.
Like if none of us were there, they might have knocked him out and like dragged him somewhere. Or
Who
something,
knows?
you
Who
know?
knows? Thank God it was, I wouldn't say it was benign because he obviously ended up in the hospital, but
Yeah.
it was
Yikes.
somewhat contained. So
Yeah, it was somewhat contained. And,
Yeah.
So, but like I said, Matt was a lot of great memories with
Oh my
Matt.
God.
A lot of really funny, menacing memories with
Yeah,
Matt.
yeah, for sure. And it's too unfortunate. I mean, obviously, right now he has a family, and
Yeah.
I
he's a dad now.
Yeah, I think those days are well far
I hope
behind
so.
him now.
I hope so.
I don't know.
I
That's
mean-
unfortunate.
I mean, honestly, in the grand scheme of things, settling down is probably the best thing that could have happened to him.
I honestly think so. I think if Matt would have kept on his path, he would have kept upping the ante, and he
Yeah.
knows he could have been in jail for a while.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, he was really, like, he was always pushing the edge, but, like, he was really on the edge when, like, if we found out he had a kid on the way, but, like, before that moment, he was doing some really questionable things, and I was like, I don't know where this is headed. And thank God just headed towards like, well, I gotta settle down, have a family. I'll never talk to you guys again. And it's like, all right,
That's bad. I mean,
That's
the
the
way
best.
that's like the best thing
that's
for
the best
him.
situation for him.
Because like, but he can't. He could never sit back and say like, "Oh, they were bad influences on me."
I mean,
Like,
he could try.
you were the bad
but like
influence.
this and many other examples we could bring up would prove that we weren't.
We were the opposite. Like we were like we were trying to like help him. We were like the tame version of what he was. But every time I knew I was meeting up with you guys at the bars, I'm like, Matt's gonna be
There's
there.
always Matt, yeah.
Some heckling's gonna go on. There's some mayhem's gonna happen.
I would say like
believe it.
99% of the time, if there was drama when you showed up, it was because of Matt. 1% of the time could have been me, but it was 99% of the time was Matt.
yeah,
So.
yeah. Derek, there was never
Derek.
Never Derek.
And actually, I've heard of one situation with Derek, but I wasn't there for it, so I don't know what happened.
no. My drama was always completely different.
You know what? It actually was still Matt in that situation. I just remembered the whole story.
Matt provoked
Matt got
someone.
Derek in a situation, but it wasn't Derek who started it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see Matt fucked with the wrong person.
Yes.
They saw Derek and we're like, I'm gonna go for the biggest guy.
That's okay, that's literally what happened.
Wow.
I wasn't there. I wasn't there for it, but
Wow.
yeah, he like pulled his shoulder in the process. Like,
Oh,
like
no.
Derek's shoulder was messed up for like a year after that.
Really?
Because
Oh
he
my
like
God.
I don't know what happened, but somehow he like hit his shoulder into like a brick wall or something.
Oh shit.
don't know.
Damn. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. But yeah.
Wow.
So, anyways, back to your university time. So you're excited. When are you going on campus? When do you get back?
So it's gonna be I believe January 15th is the start of the semester. And it's interesting because I went to visit the university this past week, and I am not the young person that I once was.
This must be weird.
Dude, like
guy, yeah.
I'm looking at these guys, they're babies.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they're 18, 19, 20-year-olds. Like I feel legitimately uncomfortable like approaching these people.
I don't think you can really.
No, not really. I mean, I certainly wouldn't recommend it. And plus, I don't know, like with all the, Gen Z, whatever the hell you want to call them.
Terminology.
Yeah, terminology, language. I'm
Riz.
sorry, I can't get behind it. Like, Riz, bro, yacht, skibbity, on God, no, on blood, whatever the heck that is.
Man.
But
yeah,
yeah,
we didn't use those terms as millennials.
yeah, dude, we used a whole bunch of, in my opinion, cool terms, but I don't know.
Much cooler than what they use. Yeah.
Well, Gen X and the baby boomers absolutely hated us for that. But otherwise, to answer your question, honestly, it's been a very big blessing, and I am super, super excited to finally pursue something that, in my opinion, would, I mean, obviously I'm not doing it to elevate my status, completely, but it'll probably make me a little bit more valuable, especially in the dating market.
Make you a lot more valuable in the dating market. It will, because with a master's degree, you'll be able to get like a very good computer science, like a software job. But I
That's the plan.
think for like in general, man, like it's gonna help your career. It's gonna help your dating, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, and on top of that, I was also thinking, because a buddy of mine, I would like to have him on the podcast sometime, especially to have both you and him discuss, because he's like really against dating apps. I think I've come around on dating apps a little bit.
Your friends against dating apps?
Oh yeah, he's vehemently against it.
What makes him vehemently against dating apps? I'm curious.
I think it's been a while since I've last talked to him about it, but he thinks that it incites not great behaviors.
I agree with that.
It's 80% of the women going for 20% of the guys constantly.
Yeah.
That's true.
For those of you who watch Manosphere content, you'll be very familiar with that statistic. But obviously, it's not a level playing field.
No, it's not. I agree. I agree with him there.
You know, women, and obviously I want to be careful with how I, tread with this topic, but women start with a lot of their value once they initially turn 18 and everything. Obviously, they have their
early
beauty
20s, late
and everything.
teens. Yeah.
With men, it's completely the opposite. The older that you get, the more experience and status that you get. It's like all the women start to slowly
Notice you more.
Yeah, they start to go a little bit more towards the men that have actually done something with their lives.
For sure.
So I mean that's part of the reason why I want to go with it. Another reason, which I think I can speak for a lot of people that want to maybe try and go in the direction of this career. My plan is to eventually work completely remotely, and then my buddy and I, we want to try and start a YouTube channel where we do flight vlogs. Flying airplanes all across the country, and
Dude, that's sick.
so that's the only way that you're going to be able to do something like that. So I'm looking forward to it.
Job.
And you never know, I might meet somebody over at college too. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, don't rule that out, man. I mean, just because like you're an older guy, like there, you can. I mean, ideally, like someone our age, like you want to date someone that's also like late 20s, early 30s,
Absolutely.
something like that. But if you do meet a girl that maybe she's like in like the early 20s, like don't necessarily rule it out, like keep your options open, keep your mind open to it. But yeah, I'm glad you're going back to college. Rylan and I will be sitting in the back of your class.
Yeah, maybe we
That'd be
should.
so cool.
I think we got to do that at least once,
Now
man.
that
We
I'm
got to
thinking
do it at
about,
least
maybe we
once.
should like meet up on campus because I haven't been back since I graduated.
Dude,
100%. Let's do it.
You could go straight into the student center and still like order food from Chick-fil-A.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
And stuff. So I am 100% down for trying that out.
yeah. Just meet up for the hell of it.
Just for like
Yeah.
old time nostalgic sake.
I would do that just for one day.
Yeah, our one friend Noah and I, we walked through campus, and then we actually walked in like the buildings. We walked in like the new business center they have. I definitely felt weird, dude. I felt like people were like, "Who the fuck are these guys? Like, why are they here?"
100%.
Because like you're 10 years later, like 9 years later, like after we graduated, you definitely look older. Like people can tell, you still look young, but they're like, what are these guys doing here?
Who's
Like,
this man catwalking up the freaking hallway?
Yeah, because it's kind of funny, but you may not feel that different. Like, I don't feel that much different than when I was 23.
we don't look that much different
But
either. But
They
I
can tell
agree.
you're different.
They
Like,
can
you're-
tell you're-
They,
they can
can
tell
you
you're
can tell you're
older.
not a college student, or at least
100%.
not like a undergrad.
yeah, 100%.
So I have a question for you guys. So what kind of life? I mean, obviously we're taking a wild turn from going from bar stories to, the fact that we're pretty much, I would say, in our prime, getting ready to start up families and whatnot. What kind of lives would you guys like to have for your kids? Like, what kind of outlook would? I mean, obviously, your kids are going to do whatever your kids are going to do
Yeah.
based on their preferences and their likes. But what would you guys like if you had a son and if you had a daughter? What direction would you like to possibly see them go in?
Oh, you can take this one.
Yeah, because me and Rebecca have been talking about this a little bit more, so we've been thinking about it, and it's interesting. This is gonna get into a deep topic, but
Hell yeah.
kind of life would I want for my kid? I mean, definitely. Like, it sucks to admit, but sometimes your parents were right, and like when they were teaching you certain lessons, those are the kind of lessons I want to give to my kids. And unfortunately, I feel like a lot of kids now, like younger than us and then the next generations after us, they're not getting like ethical like lessons taught to them at home. I don't know why that is. I'm not going to get into the reasons why I think it is, but I want my kid to have like a foundation, like at least an understanding of what's right and wrong. And where that comes from, I'm not going to get into like, religion, philosophy and all that, but just give them a foundation that seems to be lacking in the generations after us. Like a lot of people just don't understand what's right and wrong anymore. And it's scary as hell, because what to me is point blank like a crime is to them a hero. And it's just like, I'm not going to get into like current topics, but it's amazing what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I like that you said you want to have your kids grow up with like a moral values and like understanding what's right and wrong. I think that's very important to like give to kids, and maybe a lot of it has to do with like technology and like
I was about to say that.
and
Yeah,
like
it's
I would
technology
say
for
like
sure.
people, I don't want to set like blame like the younger generations from us, like Gen Z and whatever the next generation's called, but those kids, they grew up from the time they were in elementary school with Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, like TikTok, whereas like I didn't have a Facebook until I was literally graduating from high school.
Oh, wow.
I didn't have like an Instagram until I was like graduating college. So it's like we didn't grow up with technology. Like my parents just instilled in me like, treat other people how you like to be treated, treat other people with respect, help out people who are struggling. I don't think that a lot of maybe Gen X parents have a different like parenting style than like baby boomers who were our parents.
Yeah, because Gen X doesn't give a shit.
Some of them probably don't.
You see, the thing is, baby boomers tell it how it is. Gen X just doesn't care.
Yeah,
In my opinion.
Yeah, that could be part of it. But I think for me, it's like I want to raise my kids to be like good people. I want them to be raised with like, good morals, good values, like work hard, be a good person, help out the small guy. Help out, someone who's being bullied. That's what I meant. Like, be a decent person. Like, treat women with respect.
Hell yeah.
So just like good, like Rylan said, good moral values, and then maybe try to get them into a few sports while they're young to teach them like hard work, like teamwork, like basic social skills, and then just let them, but also let them live. Let them get in trouble a little bit, let them stay out late, let them smoke weed a couple times, but also like discipline them when they really fuck up. So
how early on would you let your kid have a cell phone? Because this has been a topic me and Rebecca
that's a
have been
good
talking about
question.
for a while.
Here's the thing. Here's the way I look at it. Because if you let your kid have a cell phone in fucking elementary school, I think you're doing them a big disservice.
Yeah.
Because like they're like 8-9 years old. Like I feel like social media could really corrupt them at a very young age.
It does.
The problem is if you don't let your kid have a cell phone in like middle school, early high school, it might alienate them socially. Because if all their friends have cell phones and their friends are on these different apps, like, and they're like the oddball out and they don't understand like how Snapchat works or how TikTok works, they might get ostracized from their friends.
That's
but
true.
but I also think like, allow them to have these apps, but like, try to like police it somehow, how much time they spend on it. That's kind of how I work out. I would say they can have a cell phone when they, get into middle school, I would say.
School. Yeah, I got my first cell phone in middle school. It was a flip phone though. Like I didn't get my first
Oh,
smartphone.
yeah,
I
the
remember
fucking
that.
I didn't get my first I didn't get my first smartphone for many, many years.
Yo, I had my Virgin Mobile.
Yeah, like
Virgin Mobile.
I legit did not have a
Stupid
smartphone
name.
till college. Like it was still pretty common in our time to not have a smartphone for many years after it came out.
I wasn't until my 4th year in college I got
Yeah.
my first iPhone 4.
Yeah. So I could see myself giving a kid a flip phone for emergencies. You gotta call me, like tell me where you're at. But then when you give them a smartphone, I don't know enough about parental controls and like what can you filter out of like what a normal phone could like possess. Because for example, if they have Uber, they can literally travel the world, or at least this country. You know what I mean? They can get all the way out to Canada on Uber if they really have the funds to do it.
Yeah.
It's
It was
crazy.
the biggest fucking Uber when we were growing up.
Like if you think about it, that's wild.
It
Like
was MapQuest. Print out the directions.
Yeah.
and then
No!
hold them up to your face
Yeah.
while you're driving.
dude, we had MapQuest, and if you took the wrong turn, you were screwed. Like,
You were fucked.
there was
Yeah.
no
my God.
recalibrating.
Or
That
you
was it.
lost them somewhere, or you're fucked, man. You're done. Like
Yeah.
there's no
Google Maps.
Yeah, so yeah, I would definitely be okay with a flip phone in middle school. When the smartphone comes into play, I would have to really study like what's out there and what I can control and what's just like no matter what they're gonna find their way towards these apps or whatever. So
I think it also depends. I guess I'll go out on a whim here and say this. Like, it also depends on if it's a girl or a boy. Because if it's a boy, like ideally I'd want to treat both my daughter and my son the same way. But come on, that's fucking impossible to do that. So like, ideally, I mean, you want both your kids to be up to tune socially, but. Man, with a daughter, like when I have a daughter, man, it's gonna be tough. Like it's gonna be
Dude.
tough because every motherfucker she brings over, like I know, I mean, you're looking at them, like I know what your deal is because I know what it's like.
yeah,
So I'll be very protective of my daughter. Obviously, let her do her thing, But that's the thing. If you let your daughter on fucking Instagram and TikTok when she's in fucking 6th grade. I mean, she might turn out to be an OnlyFans model. You never know. You want to kind of stop that shit. You want to stop it before it starts.
You should tell her no dating until you're married.
Yeah.
did you
You're
guys
dating until you're 40.
Did you guys see that article or whatever it came out? Like the OnlyFans woman that had 100.
I saw that.
day.
Yeah. And she wants to do 1,000 next.
Yeah, she wants to do 1,000.
Great
next.
marketing.
Whoa!
No, it's-
Holy cow!
she's a genius. I think and here's the thing.
Oh, more
is-
genius than Hawk Tua.
Yeah, she's also a really good marketer too. Like I think both of them are underestimated. A lot of people think like women like Hawk Tua and this other girl are like these stupid bimbos. I think they're very smart. They're very smart from a marketing perspective.
Yeah.
But the girl who fucked 100 guys, I mean, she knew that would get her famous and get eyeballs on her. So if she's gonna do fuck 1,000 guys, like
that's going to elevate her even more.
Yeah.
And then she's going to be able to monetize OnlyFans. You don't understand how popular OnlyFans is nowadays.
I've never used it, honestly.
I've never had.
Me
I've
either.
never.
I've never had a reason
never-
to.
Is it just like back in the day? If I was gonna watch something like that, I'm not gonna give out advertisements for web, but I would go. on
Brazzers is free.
like I would go.
Pornhub's free.
Yeah, those are the ones. Those are it. So,
Those are the free sites.
but they were free. So how does this work now? Like you put in your credit card information or something.
yeah, so basically with OnlyFans, so a girl will get on there and she'll post like nude pictures of herself, like maybe her butthole or vagina or tits, maybe a video of her getting railed out by her boyfriend or something like that. And then all these guys will like pay, like $10 a month or.
But why are
$20
they
a
paying?
month.
Why don't they just go on the free
So
ones?
here's the real scam.
Yeah, well,
is
like,
they
how's this
think,
working?
They think they're interacting with the girl, but what the girl does is she'll hire fucking Apu in India or Pablo in Argentina or Felipe in Mexico to fucking
Dude.
to message them back.
Oh my god.
So like these guys think they're getting like the girlfriend experience from like Riley Reid or something like that, but they're really getting the Apu experience.
Okay. So the only reason why they pay is because they feel like they have a closer connection to the actress
Yeah,
or whatever.
they're getting like they feel like they're texting the girl, the girl sending a photo to them, so they think they're getting that deeper personal connection, and they are getting that to a certain extent with like the smaller OnlyFans creators or like maybe some of the medium sized ones. But if you're like talking about like a Riley Reid or like the biggest OnlyFans, they have like a lot of guys like messaging back.
So is like Pornhub dead? Dude, like a new
No,
Oh,
no,
absolutely. Yeah,
all
I don't
those
think so.
Pornhub's like alive and kicking.
So there's new content from these like people that they could just watch for free.
100%.
I still don't get it. Like I would just do the free option.
I was gonna say when I watch porn like 5 times a day, like years and years and years ago, when I would be doing that, like I would just I'd watch the free stuff. Like
Why would you not do the free
Yeah,
stuff?
why would you pay like money to see a girl's photos when you can watch her on video? I've never understood that. Even if you were getting like a personalized girlfriend experience, but you're getting it from like I said, Felipe in Mexico City.
I think there needs to be a there probably is one on OnlyFans, but not just like the ethics and all that. Like there's probably already some out there, but like how they managed to flip the script of free stuff and then now people are willing to pay. Because in my time you never paid, you just always did the free stuff. So how they managed to like convert people to pay for this stuff is amazing.
They sell the dream. Yeah, that's a good question, man. They sell the dream of like one day these guys being able to date the girl.
So they think it's attainable. It's like hitting on the bartender or something.
Yes.
Like
So
it's never gonna happen.
It's almost like, so you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah.
There's a chance.
exactly.
Actually-
when guys think there's a slight chance, like even I've fallen victim to this. I was like, oh, maybe I'll message this like Instagram model that I think is super hot, and maybe she'll message back. But it's like probably not, man. Like very very slim chance of that.
I feel like it's slimmer with the Instagram situation, but I guess if you pay, she like, I don't know, she might lead you on a little bit because you're paying. You
Oh,
know?
100%.
Paying
So
her money.
she'll get like you said, like maybe it's not even a person, maybe it's just AI at this point, just messaging
Oh,
you back.
You're
Gosh.
talking
That's
to a
crazy.
literal computer.
And
That's
then
what I think it might
they're
say,
gonna
yeah.
download that into like a robot, and then you can fuck a robot.
Yeah, probably. No, so I don't speak from experience on this. I promise.
Okay.
All
right.
Oh, what are you looking at there?
Yeah, what are you Google searching over there?
What have I got?
Oh, it's Riley Reid's photo.
I got myself
She's bent
into.
over.
All right, so no, in all seriousness,
Yeah.
though. So I think there's an added level of this where, so the OnlyFans models, what they'll do is for they're paying, dare I say, beta male subscribers.
Paying customers.
Yeah, they're paying customers. I might cut that. They will actively say, "Hey, Matt," for example. I mean, that's a pretty bad example, but hey, Josiah, this video is for you. Like some of them will do a full-on personalized experience for you.
If it's a smaller creator,
Yeah, if
looking
it's
to
a
build
small
themselves
creator,
up, yeah,
for sure. Yeah, they'll do that, and I don't know, like it absolutely sucks you in.
Wow.
At least for the people, I've seen a couple of interviews for people that have gotten sucked into it, and in my opinion, I think personally, I think that porn is it's a trap that men can fall into. I mean, obviously, like some people will say, hey, porn in moderation. I mean, in my opinion, I don't think that. I think if you completely remove porn in your life, I think you can. I think it's a net positive.
It's definitely net
personally.
positive.
But the OnlyFans has been, I'm sorry, like a huge testosterone killer for a lot of men, especially especially since its inception. It wasn't even intended to be that in the first place. Like it was intended to be a social media platform where people could interact with you on screen. Then it just turned into like some faux porn site.
Wait, it wasn't originally a porn site?
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
And there's people that have OnlyFans content that is not the stereotypical OnlyFans content.
Yep.
Oh.
Those people I feel like are doing it right. Like say if
Absolutely.
you're like an
I have no
actor or you're an actress and like you just want to give people like an inside glimpse to your life. Maybe showing
That's
you and your
hilarious.
friends going out to dinner or something like that, or going to a show. Like that's good. But like like you said, watching these like random like naked Instagram models on their OnlyFans, I really do think that it does take away from your testosterone, because if you're constantly like whacking it to like some girl's pictures, like that's gotta like you're not gonna be once your dopamine receptors kind of get like fucked, so to say.
Yeah, for sure.
You're definitely getting into like sci-fi-esque like scenarios where it's like if no one's having sex, does the population just decrease rapidly because they're so addicted to only?
Yeah,
I mean, it sounds silly, but maybe not. In 100 years, when it literally feels like the real thing, and like I said, you got a robot or something that modulates, you're like, I don't know. I don't see the point in dating anymore.
Oh, there's a lot of dudes out there that use sex dolls.
Yeah, but when
I believe
it
it's a
can
real
talk
thing.
to
I
you,
believe it.
when it can talk to you and it looks like your favorite porn star, like why would you even go out and like risk dating a girl at that point?
I think that is actually going to happen.
Yeah.
I think it's going to get to that point because like if the AI dolls are so real where it looks like, let's just say your type is like a big booty Latina, and she's got like the big booty, the big tits.
Nice.
She's got
Speaking some
the
Spanish to you,
speaking
little
some
dirty
happy, and she's speaking dirty to you, and like
Yeah.
you can fuck the sex doll,
Yeah.
and it actually feels like a real vagina. Dude, like I feel like a lot of guys would be like, all right, well, I have this at home. I've got my beer, I've got my food, I got my TV.
Yeah.
Like I do think that like at some point it's going to be so demotivating for people because they're like, all right, I got my girl right here.
Yeah.
So like corporations are going to be like, what's going to motivate men? Well, nothing anymore because they got their sex dolls.
Yeah, and then women, you try to go on a date with the real girl the next week, and she's like,
Just give me shit.
she's like, I don't approve of eating steak at the table, and you're like, all right, I got my big booty Latina.
I got my
doll.
big little
like,
Latina.
Like I'm going back to my sex doll. Like,
Yeah.
Have a good life. Like,
Or if you like, like a tall, like athletic, like hot blonde, blue-eyed Russian woman named Svetlana. You can
Svetlana.
fuck Svetlana like at home too,
Anastasia.
and get your experience on there. So yeah, I do think that's going to be an issue. I really do think
Yeah.
that's going to be an issue, and also it's the lust aspect
Oh,
of
yeah.
OnlyFans too. So like OnlyFans models, like they prey off of your lust of like, oh, I really want this girl, like I really want to make her mine. Well, yeah, so does 20,000 other guys.
Yeah.
So they prey on that lust. Whereas like if that guy just hopped off OnlyFans, went to the gym, worked on his appearance, worked on his building his career, like that guy might be able to find a girl similar to that in
Yeah.
real life.
Honestly, I feel like social media can absolutely fall into that same category because, and I've 100% been a victim of this, where you are scrolling for. I mean, I don't know the measurement that you could use for it, but you can. Shut up, phone. Sorry, people want me to get on Halo right now. I'm sorry, that ain't happening just yet. So it's happened to me with Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, where you're constantly scrolling up and you constantly get that dopamine boost whenever you see a new post from someone. Maybe you're seeing a news story that just popped up and you just so happen to be interested in it. the same exact thing I think could be applied to Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels. There's been one time, and thankfully it's only happened one time, I death scrolled for about 4 hours. And at the end of it, I felt so mentally exhausted. I probably fell asleep in 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's either way. I think, and I think Rylan has some experience with this, where you kind of just get detached from technology in general. Because I know you've camped out in your backyard a couple times,
Yeah,
and
I mean,
it could be like a rebirthing experience, if I can say it like that.
well, if you can go out and not just like my parents, I'm fortunate enough they have a backyard which is pretty much in nature. It's not the equivalent of going to like a state park, but if you have state parks nearby, that's even better. You know, I've camped with you. We should go camping.
I would love
Yeah.
that, man.
You actually have a really good park like right down the street. We could always check out, but yeah, we should go camping at a state park, because when you're in nature for a day or two, and you detach, like you're saying, from technology, you start to realize like how basic your needs really are. You're like,
Yeah.
if I have food, I have a fire, I have a place to take a dump, and when I need, I have a tent, like I have a shelter, I have a sleeping bag and a pillow. Like that's all you really need to survive, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and water, like all that. You could survive for like a week with just that. And then you come home and you realize like, oh yeah, like I didn't really need to go on Instagram that much. It kind of helps you when you go out in nature for a little bit. And that was easier when during COVID too. That's why I did it in my
yeah.
parents' backyard, because like no one was doing anything. I was like, I'm camping in my parents' backyard this
Fuck
weekend.
it,
Well, fuck
let's
it.
do
Like,
it.
when I lived at home, like it made sense. So, but yeah, I think how this all got started was like, what kind of home would you have for your kids if you have kids? And I think for sure, like reducing technologies. You don't have to go Amish, but like definitely find ways to like have them interested in other things.
Absolutely. So,
I agree.
kind of going off because we only have like 10 minutes, or actually more like 8 minutes left here.
Okay, yeah.
So you guys mentioned something very interesting. Obviously, we've been I think bashing technology a little bit here. Obviously, there's a lot of positive aspects to technology.
We wouldn't have this.
100%. I mean, this podcast is amazing
These
proof of
cameras
that.
here.
So, what is one of your guys' first experiences like on social media?
Oh, that's a good question.
So,
No, I remember.
so real quick, I wanted to go with this because I think I first got on Facebook. I think it was back in 2010 or something like that. And I remember having near instantaneous contact with somebody. I mean, it's almost like we're talking in this public space.
Yeah.
And I got this like super exciting feeling about this.
Yeah.
Like I remember, using Facebook. I mean, Messenger didn't exist back in the day. So we used the Facebook messaging app. I mean, it's almost like you had somebody in your living room constantly.
I would say my first introduction to social media was like American, like AOL's like AIM, American,
Oh my
like
gosh,
Instant
yeah.
Messenger.
Yes,
You got mail.
Like
got
AIM,
mail.
AIM was like the precursor to social media. Like you were in. That's where I learned how to type really fast too, because I was like,
Yeah,
oh, I gotta
yeah.
answer my friends about some dumb whatever. And then my first social media account was on MySpace, which was
MySpace,
hilarious.
yes.
Oh my god.
Tom Anderson.
Tom, dude,
He
when
was
I
my
first,
top friend for a while.
dude, when Tom was like my friend, I was like, who the hell is this?
Yeah,
guy?
I saw him.
was
I'm
who's
like,
this
oh,
Tom
who's
guy?
this Tom guy? It's like Tom Anderson added you as a friend. I'm like, oh shit, all right.
Yeah, Tom. All right.
Hey, Tom.
And then
Genius marketing.
yeah, and then yeah, at some point within the first year of MySpace, everyone's like, we're doing Facebook now. I'm like, why? I liked MySpace. It was fun. But everyone switched to Facebook immediately.
Dude, MySpace died in
Like, instantly.
weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. That's another thing they should study, because like the OnlyFans thing is interesting, and then the fact that MySpace didn't survive was interesting, because that to me was more versatile. You could customize it more, where Facebook was just like a couple pictures. Like that was it.
Yeah, a couple pictures. The kind of like interesting social media was like, I had like, you could do like your top 10 friends on Facebook. On,
Oh,
like,
I
on
remember
MySpace.
that.
And I
Yeah.
remember there was one time like my best friend, his name was Grotto, and the one time I moved him from like 1 to 2, and I added like my girlfriend at the time. He's like, dude, you like you dropped me to 2, and I was like, yeah, like Katie's number 1 now. And he was like, dude, like he was dating this girl Brittany. He's like, I still have you as my 1, and I'm like, oh shit, like
So much
dude,
drama.
I was like, shit, man, I'm sorry, like. But she has me as her 1, and we got into this like argument. He's like, "All right, don't worry, man. I'll add Brittany as his girlfriend. I'll add her as 1. I'll add you as 2, and we're good." And we shook hands and backed each other up. But it was like a thing.
First
There was-
world problems.
There was times where I'd like move my buddy Matt down to 5, and my buddy Rob from like 4 to 7, and like
I forgot
there was-
about that.
Yeah, there was one time I moved my buddy Dustin from 2 to 5. And he called me up. He's like, dude, like, what's up? Like, I saw you. He's like, I saw you move me like down to 5. Like, did I do something?
That's awesome.
And I was like, no, man.
We're
I'm
done.
just like, I'm moving. I like my friend. What was his name? Yeah, my neighbor down the street, Rob, like my buddy Rob, my other buddy Rob. I moved him to like 2 because I was hanging out with him more. He's like, dude, like, well, all right, like, I'm like, no, I don't have an issue with you, man. I'm just like, I've been hanging out with Rob more, so like, I'm just putting him
Yeah.
as number 2. And he's like, all right, man, we gotta hang out more then. And I'm like, shit, this is crazy.
See,
What the
I
fuck?
feel like that conversation is almost positive because you're like having a discussion about your relationship with your friend and like where you stand, and like that's actually healthy, I would say.
yeah, it was healthy, and Facebook didn't have any of that at
No.
all. Like, it was just like a couple photos. You had like your friends list, but there was no like top 1. I think Tom Anderson was genius for doing that.
Yeah,
I really
sure.
think so.
I think that was my first introduction to social media, but then I think what's his name, Justin Timberlake now owns MySpace, I think.
Yeah.
Really?
I thought he did. I don't know.
Okay, he owns it now.
But like
Okay.
no one uses MySpace, so
No one used MySpace after 2009.
Yeah.
2010, 2009, no one used it
Just-
after.
yeah.
Just immediately died.
Have you guys ever been involved in Facebook poke wars? You remember those?
Yes, yes. Those were fun,
This
man.
is
Those
so
were
much fun.
Those were
Yeah, it was
fun.
just like a constant back and forth.
Yeah, just like pokes.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know.
Suck.
I just thought it was like so much fun. It was almost like your own personal way of letting someone know, hey, I've been thinking about you.
Do you guys think
Oh.
it was better though when like you had to go on a computer, you had to go home to get on like Facebook versus now? You
Oh
just,
my
like,
gosh, yes.
You think that was better?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's advantages to being able to access this stuff, especially when you're on the go. I mean, I personally like the fact that I'm able to get in contact with somebody whenever I can, but there was a aspect of excitement. I would say the Xbox Live was very similar to that. You looked forward to getting online with these people.
Yes.
And whether it was just like chatting back and forth, and I mean, I know that back in the day, I used to at least it's the reason why I'm so good at typing is very similar to the reason why you said that you were good at typing. The only reason why I got good at it in the first place was because I was constantly chatting with people,
Yep.
especially over the computer. And I don't know, I just found it so exciting back in the day. And obviously, those times are completely over. And obviously looking more towards the future. For those of you that know what I'm talking about with those nostalgic Facebook reels that play that aquatic ambience theme. Oh, bro, I feel you on that. I hate those things.
It's a good point you make because, like, back in our day, we had
No, I'm not that old yet.
We're there. We're there.
Dang it.
We're all over 30.
We're like
Womp,
the
womp, womp,
millennial version of like
womp.
boomers to some of these young
Yeah,
kids.
back in my day.
Yeah, back in my day. I can't believe that's the first time I ever said that. But interesting, like we would be at school from like 8 a.m. to 3:30. We'd come home, eat dinner, and then after dinner, that was when you hopped on the computer,
Yeah.
logged in, and you checked your MySpace profile. Nowadays, you just pull open your phone, whip your phone out, and then just go hit the Facebook app, and you're on there. I think having technology literally at your fingertips, I feel like it also makes people more impulsive as well, just because
Yeah.
they can check the Instagram, TikTok, and it also, I feel like it leads to more narcissism
Yeah.
I can see that.
than like where we were. Like maybe you and I got like one MySpace message from a girl, once every 4 months or something like that. But now it's like you have all these apps, people are liking people's photos, and it just leads to people being more self-conscious.
For
I
sure.
think.
For sure. Well, gentlemen, I wanted to thank you all for a wildly successful show. It's been
Yeah.
good. Unfortunately, we are out of time for
Okay,
us
okay.
here at Busy on Break. I just wanted to say one thing real quick. Thank you, Dave Grohl. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Tom Cruise. Merry Christmas to all those that celebrate. Happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, happy any other holiday I miss. Happy holidays.
Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day. Peace.